Here's a special super late night edition of Sundry News. I got stuff going on. I got a lot going on. I'm burning the candle at both ends. Let's begin today with the Louder with Crowder newsletter. The GOP just released a 46-minute video of Joe Biden talking nonsense. In the game of trolling your political opponent, every so often a campaign goes so far that the only response is to stand up, tip your hat, and give a silent nod to acknowledge game, respect, game. Why is that with a K? Anyway, I'm sure it wasn't hard to compile a great big video of Joe Biden talking nonsense. Hodge twins blast Barack Obama's performance at John Lewis's funeral. Yeah, well, as I've said in the past, Obama politicizes everything he does. I don't know why this would be surprising to anybody. Yes, it's despicable. It's gross. It's bleh. But it's not surprising. A masked Nazi couple threw coffee at a maskless man eating a burrito, then punches were thrown. This was their top story yesterday. And as I said then, very weird that there are those people who keep attacking other people who want to eat. They just want to eat. Let the people eat. Leave them alone. From the show, flashback of Crowder confronts a convicted Antifa thug. That was the same thing as yesterday. Comedian mocks fake diversity in big tech and it's perfect. David Hogg tries to own Donald Trump on TikTok, fails miserably. Seems like David Hogg fails at everything miserably. Do this if you have old roofing. It's genius. Simple home quote. I'm a little interested in that comedian thing, but I want this to be short and sweet. I'll do the Daily Wire next. Oh, this is for Tuesday, August 4th, by the way. I forgot to say that. It's not Wednesday yet. I haven't gone to sleep yet. It's not Wednesday. Demand letter from Black Lives Matter activists to Louisville businesses lists 5 repercussions of non-compliance. This was featured yesterday also. It's very threatening, and if I were those businesses, I would be very, very unhappy. MSNBC producer quits. This cancer stokes national division. Facts too cumbersome for audience. I get the first quote, but what exactly does they mean by facts too cumbersome for audience? Like, is that a reason why they don't give all the facts, or what? Is he complaining about the audience? Cruel and Heartless. Activist group offering $5,000 to find out who put Trump 2020 sticker on bear collar. Cruel and Heartless. Is this satire? It doesn't say that it is, so I'm guessing it's not. Usually they say if it is. Cruel and Heartless. Oh my goodness. Seattle Police Chief slams City Council after activists target her home. You must forcefully call for the end of these tactics. Yes. If you're the police chief, I know she doesn't want to lose her job, but her own home has been targeted. She is the police chief. Couldn't she send out her cops to quash all the shit? Yeah, it would put her job on the line. Maybe she would lose her job, but honestly, she'd be doing the right thing, probably. Portland disbanded police gun violence unit on July 1st, finished month with most homicides in 30 plus years. Huh. It's almost like the police had been doing some good. Shocking, I know. There's some ads. I'm gonna click on this. I want to know what that second quote means. As it loads. And loads and loads. A former MSNBC producer wrote an open letter on Monday explaining why she left the far-left network a little over a week ago, saying that they are a cancer that is stoking national division by amplifying fringe voices and forcing journalists to make bad decisions on a daily basis. Sound reasoning? The letter was written by Ariana Peccary, who Fox News noted described herself as an integral member of MSNBC's The Last Word with Lawrence O'Donnell. Peccary begins her letter by sharing quotes of what people said to her over the last couple of years as she pondered leaving the network due to the detrimental effect that it is having on society. July 24th was my last day at MSNBC. I don't know what I'm going to do next exactly, but I simply couldn't stay there anymore, Peccary wrote. My colleagues are very smart people with good intentions. The problem is the job itself. It forces skilled journalists to make bad decisions on a daily basis. Well, why are they giving in? Peccary said that at MSNBC it was practically baked into the editorial process that decisions on what and who give coverage to give coverage to were based on what would generate the most ratings for the network. She said that behind closed doors, industry leaders will admit the damage that's being done. A high-profile TV veteran reportedly told her, "We are a cancer and there is no cure, but if you could find a cure, it would change the world." As it is, this cancer stokes national division, even in the middle of a civil rights crisis, Peccary said. We wouldn't be in the middle of a civil rights crisis if it weren't for all the division stoked by these media outlets. Funny how that works. The model blocks diversity of thought and content because the networks have incentive to amplify fringe voices and events at the expense of others, all because it pumps up the ratings. Context and factual data are often considered too cumbersome for the audience. Considered, Peccary later added. There may be some truth to that. Our education system really should improve the critical thinking skills of Americans. True. But another hard truth is that it is the job of journalists to teach and inform, which means they might need to figure out a better way to do that. They could contemplate more creative methods for captivating an audience. Just about anything would improve the current process, which can be pretty rudimentary. Think basing today's content on whatever rated well yesterday, or look to see what's trending online today. Peccary said that she has heard colleagues deny their role as journalists and claims that a senior producer told her, "Our viewers don't really consider us the news. They come to us for comfort." Okay. I think that's probably like they find comfort in believing that they're being told the truth. But if you're not doing that, then you're actually not fulfilling what they want. You do the news. Whatever. Through this panic and the surreal, alienating lockdown, I've witnessed many people question their lives. And who the fuck thinks that the stuff they say on the news is comforting? They are fear-mongering every single fucking day, every minute of every fucking day. Comfort. I've witnessed many people question their lives and what they're doing with their time on this planet, Peccary continued. I reckon I'm one of those people looking for greater meaning and truth. As much as I love my life in New York City and really don't want to leave, I feel fortunate to be able to return to Virginia in the near term to reconnect with family, friends, and a community of independent journalists. I'm both nervous and excited about this change. Thanks to COVID-19, I'm learning to live with uncertainty. Peccary concluded by writing, More than ever, I'm craving a full and civil discourse. Very nice. Okie dokie. And going to the Daily Yahoo. Who cares about the unemployed? That's reference to the CARES Act. How COVID benefit bill denied in the Senate. Democrats passed a bill extending unemployment benefits during the pandemic, but Republicans were unable to agree on their own legislation. Yeah. Those unemployment benefits were overextended in many people's opinions. Because if a person makes more money on unemployment than they made at their job, they're not going to want to go out and get another job. And our economy will continue to stagnate. And it will be for the worse for everybody. Harry Potter star Jason Isaacs reveals he had a decades-long love affair with drugs. I find it strange that they have to identify him as a Harry Potter star. He's done plenty of other things. For one thing, he was the villain in The Patriot. Jason Isaacs, who portrayed Lucius Malfoy in the Harry Potter film series, revealed that his struggle with addiction started at an early age. 6 months after declaring the coronavirus a global health emergency, WHO director says there may never be a silver bullet for the novel coronavirus. There is no silver bullet at the moment, and there might never be, WHO Director General Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus said. That's a fun name. Okay. That's not surprising. I mean, for one thing, the common cold is also a coronavirus. And I think the best that any of these vaccines they're testing has been able to do is like 3 months of effectiveness. Which is why the whole fucking world needs to change their perspective on this whole thing, because it has a very small rate of death. Very, very, very small. Very small. North Carolina fugitive finally gets caught after 40 years. You've had a long run. Fugitive who led double life gets caught after 4 decades. From Living MGZ. Gigi Hadid just shared a bunch of nearly naked pics on Instagram. They were taken pre-pregnancy. Okay. Trump not impressed by John Lewis. He didn't come to my inauguration. Oh, Yahoo. President Donald Trump refused to say whether he found the civil rights icon John Lewis impressive, grumbling that the longtime Democratic congressman and voting rights pioneer didn't come to his inauguration or State of the Union addresses. Okay, he didn't come to his shit. Why should Donald Trump go to his shit? By which I mean his funeral. Toward the end of a wide-ranging interview in which something so-and-so blah blah blah. As I've said before, if John Lewis was such a great civil rights dude, why was he a Democrat this entire time? Why did he keep on legitimizing the party that is really responsible for any sort of oppression of the Black community? Former Deal or No Deal model spills Meghan Markle behind-the-scenes details. Ever wondered what Meghan was like before becoming a royal? No. Join us for trading IPOs and super growth stocks. Veteran trader, IPO expert, and author Kathy Donnelly joins Yahoo Finance's Jared Bleeker to explore trading methods for the volatile world of IPO stocks, exploring trading opportunities based on back-tested strategies with the actionable insights of Yahoo Finance Premium. What's hot? Oh, college loans? with Yahoo Search. An emergency kit with Yahoo Search. Tara Reid, trending now, Tara Reid. Crystal Staus? I don't know what that is. Coronavirus, number 3, always number 3. So reliable. Frances McDormand, Jacqueline Jossa, PNC Student Loans, Amy Garcia, Olivia Wilde, Today's Mortgage Rates, Rubber Deck Tiles. Seems like people only ever go to Yahoo Search to search, random stuff like deck tiles and female celebrities. It's always all female celebrities. And coronavirus, always at number 3. It's amazing. All right. Last but not least, 1440, in partnership with that thing that I can't read because I'm in dark mode. Good morning. It's Tuesday, August 4th, and we're covering Tropical Storm Isaiah's big news for a Midwestern manufacturer and primaries in 5 states. Need to know. Isaiah's moves up the coast. Tropical Storm Isaiah's, this annoys me so much. The S at the end, it probably annoys me a little too much. It's just, I want to say Isaiah. What's wrong with Isaiah? Why is it Isaiah's? What? Brought hurricane conditions to parts of the Carolinas overnight, briefly regaining its Category 1 status before weakening as it moved up the mid-Atlantic. The system dropped up to 8 inches of rain in some areas, with a reported storm surge of up to 4 feet as it made landfall near the border of South and North Carolina. Isaiah's, pronounced like this. Okay. Am I saying it wrong? Isaías. Okay, now it's even more annoying. For one thing, why can't they put the fucking accent? And for another thing, that is such a stupid name. I think I'm gonna keep saying Isaiah's. Ugh. Where was I? Is the 9th named storm and 2nd hurricane of the young Atlantic season. Forecasts predict a busy year, estimating 19 named storms, 7 more than average, and 3 to 6 Category 3 or higher storms, with frequency peaking sharply between mid-August and mid-October. Between mid-August and mid-October. The storm is expected to bring heavy rains and high wind gusts across the entire Northeast, beginning late today and lasting through tomorrow. On the other side of the country, California's first big wildfire of the year has forced thousands from their homes outside Los Angeles. I just don't understand. Why is it so predictable for California to have wildfires so much? I mean, they am I an idiot? They live on an ocean. They're right there at the ocean. Why can't they keep their land hydrated? I know salt kills things, but you've got all that water at your disposal. Water is purifiable. Why can't they use what they have to keep everything wet? I don't know, maybe I'm stupid, whatever. Lordstown's next chapter. Electric vehicle startup Lordstown Motors will become a publicly traded company, officials announced yesterday. The deal is the next step for a plant site that had become emblematic of the decline of manufacturing in the U.S. Midwest. Originally built in 1966 by General Motors near Youngstown, Ohio, the complex employed more than 13,000 workers at its peak. As U.S.-based production became less competitive, vehicle models were relocated and worker shifts reduced until GM shuttered the plant in March 2019. By November, the newly formed Lordstown Motors used a loan from GM to purchase the facilities, with plans to produce an all-electric truck known as the Endurance. The deal will be executed via a merger with the special purpose acquisition company Diamond Peak Holdings. The SPAC structure, which is rising in popularity, allows companies to become listed without the cumbersome process of a traditional initial public offering. Closing in the fourth quarter, Lordstown Motors is expected to raise around $675 million in funding, implying a valuation of $1.6 billion. Down ballot primaries. 5 states, Arizona, Kansas, Michigan, Missouri, and Washington, hold statewide primary elections today, with a number of key races coming down to the wire. In Kansas, hardline conservative and former Kansas Secretary of State Chris Kobach, Republican, has made a strong run to replace the retiring Senator Pat Roberts, Republican. Some in the GOP fear a Kobach victory could put the Senate seat in play in November, though Republicans haven't lost a Kansas Senate seat since 1932. The race was upended when a Democratic-linked group allegedly spent at least $3 million to boost Kobach last month. That's worrisome. In Michigan, progressive lawmaker and Squad member, Representative Rashida Tlaib, Democrat Michigan, faces moderate challenger Brenda Jones, who leads Detroit City Council. In Arizona, moderate would be preferable. In Arizona, incumbent Senator Martha McSally, Republicans, race against businessman Daniel McCarthy, will gauge voter enthusiasm as she prepares for a likely showdown against astronaut Mark Kelly, Democrat. In related news, former President Obama released a first round of endorsements in races across the country. I really wish that didn't hold any weight. I wonder if they're doing mail-in voting. Because it's going to be a shit show. The expert's choice. The Ascent. Nathan Hamilton is a co-founder and personal finance industry analyst for The Ascent, with 11 years of finance experience and over 800 educational and research articles published. Insofar as a person can be an expert on credit cards, Nathan fits the bill. Not too long ago, he published an article about a credit card that was so impressive, he ended up signing up for it himself. For starters, it offers up to 5% cash back on purchases, 0% interest on purchases and balance transfers until late 2021, and somehow a $0 annual fee. What's more, all of your cash back is doubled in your first year, which is unmatched in the industry. Nathan estimates this card to be worth about $1,148 in value for the first year, but a colleague managed to secure over $1,200. With cashback earnings like that, it might just be what you need in your wallet. Check it out today and see what all the fuss is about. Please support our sponsors. In the Know, sports, entertainment, and culture, brought to you by In the Wild. Politician John Hume, who won a Nobel Peace Prize for role in bringing an end to the Troubles in Northern Ireland, dies at 83. What were the Troubles? Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and partners purchased the XFL for $15 million. The Football League, formerly owned by WWE CEO Vince McMahon, folded 5 weeks into its first season. Through no fault of its own, because of the coronavirus panic. But I'm glad this is happening. It's exciting. 13 members of the St. Louis Cardinals test positive for COVID-19. 4-game series with Detroit is postponed. Stories of true and gripping tales on survival, tragedy, and triumph from the depths of the wild. Listen to the In the Wild podcast today with Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Science and technology. Report says Garmin, maker of personal GPS devices, paid a multi-million-dollar ransom to a hacker group after a cyber attack last week caused a global outage of services. Specific Zika virus mutation identified but is likely responsible for the explosion of new cases and an increase of microcephaly cases in newborns in 2015 to 16. Researchers developed electric skin capable of transmitting the sense of touch. Why does something like the Zika virus that, like, it kills people, I'm pretty sure, right? And it also affects newborns? Why does that get buried down here? Nobody really cares about it. But COVID-19 is all the rage. Silly. Researchers develop electric skin capable of transmitting a sense of touch. Neat. So that's good for, like, prosthetics, right? Federal Aviation Administration proposes 4 key safety changes be made to Boeing's 737 MAX design before the aircraft may return to service. 2 deadly crashes in 2018 to 19 killed a combined 346 people, which is why I wonder, I don't understand why Boeing is still holding on to trying to produce this airplane. Why did they not scrap it? I mean, I understand that that's going to lose a lot of money, but if, God forbid, the airplanes keep on crashing, then they're also going to lose a lot of money, probably. Business and markets. Microsoft shares surge 5%, or approximately $80 billion in market value, on potential TikTok U.S. operations acquisition. President Trump states the app may be banned in U.S. if sale is not final by September 15th. I should say it will be banned. U.S. stock markets up, S&P 500 up 0.7%, Dow up 0.9%, NASDAQ up 1.5% on strong manufacturing data and panic relief bill hopes. NASDAQ hits record high. U.S. manufacturing activity grows to highest level since March 2019, second consecutive month of expansion. Awesome. Lord & Taylor and Tailored Brands, owner of Men's Warehouse and Joseph A. Bank, joins growing list of retailers to file Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Oh, that's sad. Politics and world affairs. British tabloid leaks extended version of police body cam footage from the arrest of and killing of George Floyd, despite a prohibition on public release. Why a British tabloid? Those meddling fucks. No, but this is probably a good thing. Officials believe someone used a phone to record footage as it played on a courthouse laptop. Sneaky. They didn't say anything about what actually is shown in the footage, but it is something like he was really, really out of it to begin with. He was not cooperating at all. He kept talking about how he was dying before he was on the ground. Just weird. Weird situation, and I'm pretty sure they're not going to be able to prove murder or even racism. Manhattan prosecutors say their quest for financial documents from President Trump is part of a potential criminal probe into the Trump Organization. 4 top State Department aides subpoenaed by the House over firing of the department's inspector general. Okay. Retired Pope Benedict, said to be significantly ill following a June trip to Germany for his brother's funeral. Vatican officials' dispute report say he is recovering. Okay. In depth. From brain fog to heart damage. Oh, we're still talking about this thing? Science. Scientists are only now beginning to understand the long-term symptoms of the SARS-CoV-2 virus can trigger impatience, intricately linked to the body's immune system response. The challenge will be figuring out how to treat or prevent them. Ugh. Jammed up. The Land. It began with photos of moldy jam posted to Instagram and spiraled into one of the food industry's biggest controversies in recent memory. Get an inside look at the fiasco at Squirrel, once one of Los Angeles' trendiest eateries. Apparently they have moldy jam. Yuck. Sound like a good fit? Nathan Hamilton, the co-founder and credit card expert from The Ascent, encourages you to take a look at this incredible card, offering 0% APR for 14 months, up to 5% cash back on purchases, and double cash back in your first year, all for no annual fee. But there's a catch. Nathan isn't sure how long these perks will last. It only took him about 2 minutes to fill out the application, so he encourages you to take action if the perks sound enticing to you. 2 minutes for an estimated $1,148 in first-year value sounds pretty great to us. Check it out now. Please support our sponsors. Etc. The average panic work meeting is 20% shorter. America's 50 most beautiful college campuses. Science says your stubborn kid may become wildly successful. What going back to school may look like in illustrations. Ugh. It's gonna be depressing. It's gonna be fucked up. Mystery Chinese seeds mailed across the U.S. identified as common plants. Still, why? And are they common here, or are they invasive here? A fascinating interactive guide to hundreds of minerals. Zombie cicadas are returning to West Virginia. Ugh. Principal parodies MC Hammer in the name of good hygiene. That sounds awful. Clickbait. That's not how you launder money. History book. Jazz legend Louis Armstrong born, 1901. 1901, wow. I didn't know he was that old. Anne Frank and family are captured after 2 years hiding from Nazis, 1944. Happy birthday, former President Barack Obama. Ugh. 1961. Happy birthday, Meghan Markle, Duchess of Sussex, 1981. Rwanda Peace Treaty signed, 1993. No one has ever become poor by giving, Anne Frank. That's a good, safe quote. That's the end of Sundry News. Thank you and good night.